How's it going? How's it going? Welcome to another episode. I'm feeling very obscure these days, and thought I'd really take this moment in a transitional period in my experience here on this infinite plane. That's the new thing I think I'm settling on. It's an unknowable infinite plane with infinite possibilities where everything and anything is possible. And so if your whole life you've basically been taught to think a certain way, to look at things a certain way, to act a certain way, everything about you has been predetermined and socially created. And yet amidst this control mechanism, there is still that spontaneous, uncontrollable spark within us. And I do believe that if and or when it gets activated within each and every one of us, only then do we really truly begin to live. I don't even know if this is recording the microphone or what I'm about to play. So in line with that, I'm going to share this little audio clip from a new channel I discovered, a new ally in the quest for truth, in the infinite quest to truthfully comprehend, understand, overstand all that stuff, what's really going on. So, the visuals here, I thought this was lovely, is some sun photography I took, slowed down, and really just appreciated. So hopefully the washing machine spinning in the background isn't too loud. Like I said, obscure, mixing all different elements, multi-layered. So we'll watch this. All right, my man. We will catch up soon. My man Treach still awake at 4:46 in the AM. So let's listen to this.
So we're not going to be censored, and the fun will continue, the calls will continue, so long as we remain networked. And the way we remain networked is we don't leave ourselves open to the vulnerabilities in a government-controlled platform such as YouTube. So multicasting, I'm also live on DLive, on Periscope, on Twitch, and on Facebook. So there's redundancies. There's another YouTube account I'm also on live as well. Trent Erickson says, I listened to Akil versus Tupac. It was eye-opening. Yeah, you know what gives it away on many of the death fakers for me? The voice. It's ear-opening. It's not the visuals, because they can change that. And they can change the voice. They can disguise it, but there are certain inflections you cannot hide. Certain idiosyncrasies. You know, that's why when I look at Lily Reinhart, I'm like, oh no, she doesn't just resemble Brittany Murphy. That's obviously Brittany Murphy. Another death faker. Conscious Daughter says, Tupac never left his character Bishop from Juice. His demeanor in his rapping never changed. Shakespearean trained actor. Exactly. Money Model says YouTube needs to stop targeting truth. Well, YouTubers also. I mean, YouTubers are slightly to blame here because many of them will flag things that offend them. When you get to this point where you will not defend the right of someone to offend you, then you've lost touch with the principle of it, and there's no way you can defend it. So we have to defend, like someone last night or a couple nights ago said, if you don't believe in the Bible, don't talk about it. And I'm like, well, I should be able to talk about it, because if I refrain and it's not talked about, then we're narrowing down the range of ideas. And what I'm trying to do here, I mean, open phones, open minds. The idea here is no gatekeeping, and if something offends you, you just turn the volume down. Mary Monica says, Philip K. Dick's A Scanner Darkly reads as a historical novel. Now, Philip K. Dick is another one of these authors who's very interesting to me, because before he started writing his science fiction, which many people believe to be prophetic, but now consider that in context. Why is it that the original sci-fi authors called it future history, and it was just paving the way for fake science that would be introduced later? So isn't it interesting that Philip K. Dick was also called a prophet? And he's the one who brought you RoboCop, Terminator, and many of these other cyborg-based dystopian movies that we've all seen his work. Highly, very, very influential. Infinite Plane Society. Hey caller, what do you think about the judge sealing the murder trial documents?
Yo, this is KG. What up, man? IPS?
Hey, good to hear you. So yeah, what do you think about this? They're gonna try to seal it up because the judge says it's a matter of public safety.
They're sealing it up because it's case closed, basically for their eyes only. This is kind of common what they do. They're gonna seal it and call it case closed so that they can restructure everything and then release it to the public later.
Well, that's the thing, but what the prosecutor, here's what he says here. The judge declared that they remain sealed after 3 weeks to ensure public safety. So it's not me saying this, it's the judge saying they have to keep it sealed for public safety, which leads me to think they're expecting some type of blowback.
Well, they say there's supposed to be a blowback, but we already know that's rhetoric. That's all just rhetoric.
Do we know
They're just
that?
sealing it.
I mean, that's what I'm asking. Do we know that? Because I personally don't know anybody who's ready to go to riot over this stupid story. But do you think they could agitate something, or you think it's in their script?
I think it's in their script. I think that's exactly what they're trying. That's a part of the restructuring, is to see what they can do with it.
Okay.
They usually freeze these moments just so that they can actually figure out what they could do with it and how they can apply it. And if you actually, I did the research, and if you check the streets are fully well into this. Like, it's not really too many people that have their eyes open. Even like the so-called woke community, or the new age wokeness, or the new age woke nation, everybody's still kind of into this. Like, a lot of people kind of see through it, but they don't really have the background information to know what's going on. So it's still baffling everybody. Like, you could show somebody the whole compression video and everything, and they still wouldn't know really how to put everything together.
That's a good point. And, I was actually outlining something yesterday. Just, if there were 20 points that I could put down back to back that would explain the hoax in its entirety, what would they be? And so I'm actually working on something like that, because, yeah, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, It's like, well, why would they do it? And so I'm answering all these questions in a blog, and I'll be presenting that in a few days.
Yeah, it was actually it was another site that actually you mentioned before, and I've seen it before I actually got into IPS months ago. It was the Tupac hoax, and the way he broke it down when he actually got into the backgrounds and birth certificates. You need more sites like that, because that was actually another step for me to open my eyes to the whole death faking thing. Because that's actually fairly new to me. I actually knew of some death fakers, but I didn't actually realize that it was legal to fake your death in LA and Las Vegas, and that could actually be a ploy, like for the Freemasons and all these initiates to kind of do their rituals in front of us.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I recognize a lot of death fakers. I noticed the 27 Club. I started noticing this whole Die Young Club, but it wasn't until this thing that I realized, yeah, this is a bigger part of the whole package, the big story, the big deception.
There's a lot of craziness going on. About the Tyson thing, just even go back a couple of days before, you guys need to look up Tyson rape, charged for rape. There was a new case that came out a couple of years ago that included Tyson maybe being charged for another suspected rape case, but it actually wasn't him. It was a lookalike. And when you see the video, it was on the news, and the news, it looked legit and everything. You see the video of who was the suspected Tyson that was caught. He looked identical with the tattoo and everything. And they actually had Tyson, he had a text saying that he wasn't there. He was actually with Jenny McCarthy in Las Vegas on some sort of show doing something at the exact moment. So there's two Tysons. So you need to check out Tyson rape, being charged for rape.
Yeah, that's fascinating there. Because, you know, well, a few days ago, did you hear the whole Tyson drama where supposedly he got in a fight with Wack because Wack said something about Tupac?
We know that people might be listening to your show and they might be kind of in the know about what's going on and certain the conscious community talking and a lot of the Infinite Plane Society, you know, us getting together and correlating. They know that, so I think they might be doing damage control right now. They like a lot of your callers have been saying. I think they are doing damage control. Like the Tyson thing, that's obviously fake. And I think the whole night he was a part of the whole staging.
Exactly. So here he is doing damage control, the fake fight. We call it out. That video gets like 4,000 hits within 12 hours, and a lot of people with a lot of insight are bringing stuff to the table. And the next day, his PR guy says, "Oh no, it was a fake fight for PR." And it's like, wait a minute. If that was for PR, how come Tyson didn't get in front of it? We obviously.
Well, Tyson, since the past maybe a couple of years, he had to go back on the road and make money again. It was like one of your callers said. He did make the sacrifice with his daughter. She died on a treadmill, something like that. A cord kind of strangled her. He's back on the road to make money. He started with a one-man show, a comedy show, a couple of years back, and that's when you would have noticed him back on the road, and he hasn't stopped, right? So the damage control is just more of a ploy just to kind of catch the eyes of the elites, saying that he's doing his job. And a lot of them are doing that.
Wow, they're puppets for life. Puppets for life, right?
For life. I still can't understand the reason why you would do that. I'd rather stay like a common, normal person rather than just to have all these kind of obligations. It's crazy. There's no money in the world that can kind of get me aligned with this. I'd rather just go against it. Me personally, I actually wanted to be in Hollywood growing up. Like, I know everybody's names, the actors, directors, producers. I was set to be a part of this crew, and what hurts me the most is when you find out it's just pure deception. Like, what you're lined up for was pure deception. It makes you just kind of angry. Me personally, I would rather just go completely against these people in some sort of way. Like, and I like your channel because it kind of sets that precedent that, you know, there's a lot of people awake and we can do something about it. We can just come together and talk about it. Yeah, at least the basics.
Oh yeah, I mean this is critical theory. This is essential. What we're doing is we're deconstructing lies that are being put on by these massive corporations, and it's going to take hundreds of us to do this, you know, on the daily. But yeah, I think it has an effect because, like the caller a few callers ago said, she saw the Virginia Beach shooting thing and it didn't faze her because she knew it was fake.
Yeah, and that's good. At least a lot of people won't be disturbed or at least outraged by the news and the media.
Exactly.
Once up.
They can't PSY-OP you if they can't get into your psychology, into your mind, into your emotions.
Yeah. So I do appreciate the fact that you do kind of have this platform for that. We need to kind of.
They can't PSY-OP you if they can't get into your psychology. So I've had a lot of time in the last couple of weeks to really think about everything real, not real, in this media world that we're all exposed to, that we expose ourselves to. I want to just take this moment to say that there are still real people on this platform, real content creators, and I think we've all just been so conditioned to a certain style and look and appeal that when we find these random little channels that just have their phone and are really just sharing themselves, we often go, oh, this guy's a little bit strange, that's a little bit weird. And if you're in the twofer community, well, then you're automatically trying to decipher, is this person an agent of the system? What is their agenda? So there's so many levels to this whole thing. And as I continue my journey on this road and continue to discover new things, such as the channel the little element there, I guess I'll show you the actual source. You can check it out. I really enjoy expanding upon my ideas that I have developed only recently in my existence, right? For the first 33 years of my life, I used to think the earth was a ball. Never questioned it. Used to think that what you saw on TV was a reflection of reality in the world out there. But it's really only until you've lived a little, experienced a thing or two, this in itself being a very unique experience, the YouTube content creator world. It's like a mirror. We're putting out reflections of ourselves and bouncing ideas off of each other. Where do these ideas come from? Who is the creator of these ideas? So I was gonna give a shout out to a channel that I'm really enjoying getting to know. Ralph the Cosmic Coyote. That's the gentleman that gave us the audio for the last video I put out. How many of us are really out there? Well, when you listen to shows like the one on fakeologist.com, somebody asked me the other day, what do you do? I said, I'm a fakeologist. I expose the fakery in life whenever possible. How many of us are truly out there? Is it millions? Is it hundreds of thousands? Is it thousands? Is it hundreds? Well, it's really an unknowable thing. However, for every little seed that I plant out there, seed of truth, quote unquote, that I plant out there, I feel like I am in fact enhancing humanity one sentient being at a time. And it's only after realizing how fake it all is and being taught how to spot the fakery, and with your own curiosity of all the myriad of subjects that are out there, the infinite subject, it's all fake. Okay? And like the caller said, I really liked what that caller had to say. The more we do that, the less people will be impacted psychologically, emotionally, spiritually by all the nonsense that's out there. And so if I was able to see through the deception, if I was able to be, and people think I'm crazy. Hey, don't get me wrong. You are here because you are meant to be here. But right here, right now, in this fair city, there are many individuals that have thought, that have said, that have professed or revealed by their actions that established 1983 as off his rocker. And it takes a lot to get past that on an emotional level at first, but then eventually you realize, wait a second, like my man Treach said, it's your life, you gotta live it. And what you do in the time that has been allocated for you to accomplish is very precious. And when you acknowledge how every moment in itself is precious, right? We are bombarded with entertainment and distractions and soul-sucking, parasitic, visual assault. Actually, it's not even just a visual assault, it's a full frontal assault all around, from all angles. When you realize that this is actually what is happening, well, you build that shield, you protect yourself from that nonsense, and you try to ultimately free other people from mental slavery. At least that's what I do. That's my objective in this whole thing. So those are my thoughts on this here the day at 11:04 a.m. Thursday, June the 20th in Cape Town. What's up, man? Speaking of Cape Town, what's up, Misha? Greetings if you're still around. It all slowly starts to make more sense. And ultimately, the fear that has been programmed into all of us slowly gets broken down and discarded. Right? I fear no man. Why? I fear no idea. Why? I'm an adult. I can think for myself. I'm constantly readjusting, adapting, reassessing, and acting accordingly. You have to. Otherwise, well, what's the point? I was talking to somebody over dinner earlier on about why I chose to become a vegetarian. She said, are you a vegan? I said, no, I'm not a vegan. I still eat cheese. I don't eat eggs. I don't drink milk. Oh yeah, milk is really not good for people. I don't know why people drink milk. Well, that's a good question. Why the hell do people drink milk? Nobody should be drinking milk. But somehow, from an early age, you give a child milk. You go from breast milk to formula to 3.25% milk. Homo milk. But no. And then every once in a while you hear a story about a couple being jailed because they fed their child a vegan diet, or they gave their kid almond milk and they died. Come on. More and more people need to become aware of the fact that everything around us has been created to hold us back, to advance just enough for the benefit of consumerism and ultimately the people who run this place. And when you really discover that you are in fact legally dead, lost at sea, and the Vatican owns your soul, when you do the research to understand, as Jordan Maxwell says, to understand means to stand under and look at the foundation and see if what you want to put some heavy shit on can withstand the weight of the heavy shit that you want to put on it. To understand, to stand under, look at it and comprehend, really grasp what is going on. And with cognitive dissonance, people will see things and completely disregard them and say, nope, even once I've seen it, nope, I don't want to accept it. Because ultimately it would mean that you'd have to reconsider everything that you've ever thought to be true. If they lied about that, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? Well, pretty much everything. I've gotten over it, okay? It's like everything. So what is real? What is real? You know? Think about this. Back here on Earth, on this let's see, look at the world. Let's add a city. Enter a city. You know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna enter a few cities that myself have lived in. Cool. Let's see. That's fun. That's fun. Ooh. World clock. Dun 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 dun. See what I tell you? Completely obscure. Dun 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 dun. This is in no particular order, okay, everybody? It's making the doxing a little less accessible. Look at that. I too have a thing for numbers. So, what do we do? At the 5:11 mark, I guess I'll wrap it up because I think I'm mumbling. Did I have a message? Public service announcement. Join the IPS through Fakeologist and become a liberator of the mind for humanity, for yourself primarily. So from everybody here at the establishment, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Is it Friday? What day is it? It's Thursday, you see? And check out fakeologist.com, Infinite Plane Radio. And that's a good channel. Check that out. Oh, speaking of Phuket. So, have a great day. Till next time, I would like to take this moment to have a minute of silence for truth.